Inside your spotlight this morning, the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services recently launched its National Parenting Workshop. And through the community-based workshops, these are facilitated seeking the support of parents through the provision of evidence-based education and parenting skills. To tell us a little bit more about it this morning, I welcome Michelle Boissel-Morris, who's the Technical Coordinator of the Parenting Unit, the National Family Services Division. Good morning, Michelle.
Hi, good morning, Ruckus. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing this morning?
Pretty good.
Well, thank you for joining us this morning, because I think this is a very important initiative. Tell me the objectives of the community-based parenting workshop.
So mainly our focus by going into communities is to enhance parenting skills, provide parents with knowledge that they may not have had, strategies, tips, tools on this parenting journey, but also to provide a social support network. Right? Coming out of these programs, we expect that parents would be able to network with each other, form a community where they can share information, share tools, share resources, and really help us go back to it takes a village.
Because it certainly does take a village. Yeah. But what initiated this workshop?
So this would have been coming out of information we might have received from CAPA, other parents saying what they needed, how they needed to be supported, and the ministry would have developed a comprehensive work plan taking us into 2025.
Tell me some of the things that people need assistance with.
Well, some persons indicated that they need support with parenting special needs children, which we have included in our lineup for this series of workshops. Some parents have indicated that they need to understand how to communicate effectively, especially with teens, and things like parenting in the 21st century, where we have social media, understanding how to manipulate and navigate technology. We work specifically with grandparents because that's a unique group of parents. We also have programs for fathers as well as mothers as we roll into Mother's Day next year. So we're listening and kind of tailoring the programming to facilitate what parents are asking for.
All right. So all these things are also covered in this parenting workshop?
Yes, most of them are.
Okay.
So for this series, we are covering 6 main topics over a 3-day period. We're looking at parenting in the 21st century, parenting a child with disability. We're also talking about sex education. How do you talk to your children about sex? At what age? What does that feel like for most parents? We're also talking about, sorry, I just got a block because I wrote them all down.
That's okay.
Parenting a child with disability, we mentioned that. Coping with trauma.
Right.
What does it mean to experience trauma and still have to parent and navigate life?
Yeah.
Yes. And we're talking about work and family life balance.
That's 5.
I missed out one. Discipline versus punishment.
Ooh.
Because corporal punishment is a big topic. What does it mean to discipline versus punishing a child, either physically or otherwise? So those are the types of conversations we have with parents.
I think those are very, very important conversations. How long do these workshops run for?
So this series, we're running 3 days in each community. We've been in Arima already. We are going to be in Diego Martin this week. We started last night from 5 to 7:30, and we're doing 2 sessions per day.
Okay.
So 2 on Monday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Friday.
Okay.
And then we close off for this quarter, and we come back in next year.
Tell me how the Arima one went.
Oh my gosh, it was so well attended and received by the community. In terms of mobilization, we had the community police. We partnered with them to get the word out. We sent information to all the schools in the surrounding area. So the PTAs in those schools would have sent or recommended their parents. And I would say, give or take 25 participants per night. And notable mention of the men who participated. We would have had at least about 6 men staying for the entire duration of the workshops. So I feel it was well attended.
And I mean, were there specific concerns that like the men had, for example, in these workshops that may have stood out to you?
I think one of the things would have been around discipline. and that whole issue of
discipline versus punishment. Yeah.
discipline versus punishment, and doing it in a co-parenting type setting.
Okay.
If I say one thing and the mother says another thing, how do we come together, say the same thing, and communicate effectively to the child so that we can discipline in a healthy way?
You want to share how you do that? Because I feel like the nation could benefit from that at this point.
So you know what, Dorcas? I would say communication. Talk to each other, talk to your child.
Does that work even if it's a strange relationship?
If
or
it's a
strained relationship?
So that would involve a lot of external contributions.
Of course.
To make sure that you're on the same page. And to make sure that, okay, we agree that this is how we want to communicate for the benefit of the child at the end of the day.
All right. What kind of support has the workshops received from the communities already? So, I mean, you mentioned that, the community police was involved. You mentioned that you had 25 people come out to each session. But do you feel like you have the support of the communities that you go into?
Definitely, especially because we are going in through the schools and the school support system. We also have other agencies like Children's Authority who would utilize their network of parents to send them towards these programs. But the community itself, through the schools, through that parenting network, through the PTA, have been very supportive.
Tell me some of the challenges that the woman brought up to say that, I mean, you mentioned the 6 that you're covering, but were there any that stood out among them that was like, we need to fix this or we need to get help with this?
So besides the parenting a child with a disability, which did come up in 1 or 2 sessions as an area of concern, being a unique situation to deal with, parents just need support. Just need support. So when we talk about things like effective communication, and we talk about things like discipline, and we talk about all these topics that intertwine, parents just need support. Yes, I can practice these skills, but I need help. And so I feel like building these networks within the parenting workshops, we're providing a space where parents can say, hey, I need a break today, from somebody who understands what we're going through. So those are some of the things.
I definitely could relate to that. Like you're saying that, and I'm like, yeah, I could understand the need for a break every now and then. But tell me about the work that you guys are doing at the parenting unit. What do you see as the role of the parenting unit in the Family Services Division?
So our role mainly is to manage and implement the National Parenting Program. And that involves communicating with parents through workshops. We also have seminars. So the men's program, the grandparents program, those will all be virtual.
The grandparents program virtual?
Yes.
How was the attendance on that?
From what I've heard, it has been a resounding success over the last 2 years or so. So we do get a good traction with grandparents. They're very excited about participating. We do the same thing for men. And this quarter, we're also doing a 16 Days of Activism campaign, social media campaign for the 16 days, culminating with a conversation with some experts, I would say, around domestic violence and gender-based violence on the issue of bystanding specifically.
Okay.
And in the coming year, we are continuing to roll out in other communities like Pleasantville, Belmont, El Socorro, Arouca, to name a few, throughout next year. We do also partner with other agencies, so in between that, we may get an offer to partner with someone on a specific parenting issue.
Who is doing the actual facilitation of these workshops?
And you should mention that.
I mean, I feel like that's a valid question.
This fiscal, the facilitation is being done by the expert staff at the parenting unit, as well as the family service social workers.
Okay, and you'll have enough social workers that nobody getting burnt out trying to do this, right?
Not at the moment. We just started. So this is our first year doing it. And this is our testing period, so to speak. It's been working out fine so far.
How do you measure the success of the program, of these workshops when you're finished?
So far, we are going to utilize attendance, of course. Feedback, we're using different feedback mechanisms, and our M&E team will put together a template by which we could measure the feedback, the outcomes as well as our idea to go forward with the feedback from the workshops.
Yeah.
So how could we design and develop new programs that would effectively reach the community?
Yeah, because I think that reaching effectively is an important aspect of it.
Correct.
Because it's one thing. I mean, it's nice that you're doing the programs, but hopefully we can get more. Because I mean, 25 might seem like a nice start-off number, but I feel like in a land of 1.3 million people, I feel like we need a lot more than 25.
Absolutely correct, and I
really
hope that some of the
impact.
parents are listening this morning.
Yes.
And with support, we are in Diego Martin on Wednesday again from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. and Friday 5 to 7:30 at the Diego Martin Central Community Center.
Where is the Martin Central Community Center?
It's on the Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard.
Okay.
Just as you come off the highway, it's to your right.
Oh, that's where they have the market in the morning?
Correct.
On the weekends. All right.
Just
nice.
opposite True Value.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. So it's easy to find. It's straight on the Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard as soon as you come off the highway.
Yes.
There's at the first traffic light there, make a right and make a right again, you enter the compound.
Enter the compound.
Beautiful. And it's
Correct.
absolutely free. Yes?
It's absolutely free. You would receive a certificate at the end of the training.
Okay. Is there an online option for people who can't make it physically to the space, or is that something we do in the future?
In the future, yes.
All
Definitely.
right. So we have to stay tuned to get more information.
Please pay attention to our social media pages where you will see the ads. You can scan a barcode or you can call us at 623-2608 extensions 6702 to 6715.
All right. Well, thankfully we recorded that, so hopefully we'll be able to go back and play it over. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the work that you guys are doing at the Family Services Division. I think that's really, really important because people take it for granted. Parenting is on-the-job training, essentially. So to have any kind of assistance, any kind of guide is definitely a plus. So kudos to you and the team. Please keep up the great work.
And we're here to support. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Enjoy the rest of your day. Ladies and gentlemen, Michelle Bossell-Morris, the technical coordinator, the parenting unit at the National Family Services Division, joining us to tell us more about the national parenting workshops that are happening currently. Diego Martin, you are on this week. Tomorrow we head to the community center right on Wendy Fitzwilliam Boulevard from 5 to 7, yeah?
Yes,
5
to 7:30.
5 to 7:30. That extra half an hour, very important. We'll take a quick break and come back with more. Stay tuned.
Since they stopped beating children in school, they claim delinquency is like a runaway train. So they spare the road.